Good evening, and Randomania fans, and welcome to this exciting matchup here in our round of 32 between Oscredwin and Infinious in the Lali-Ho League tournament of the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Randomizer. My name is Xenocat, and I'm joined here in the booth by Hupfin. How are you doing tonight, Hupfin?
I'm doing all right. How's your week been? How are you doing?
It's been, I mean, it's been turbulent, but it's been good. I'm at the end of it, and now it's good.
Hmm. It's Friday. We're partying.
Yeah.
We're seeing some interesting racing going on between Oscredwin and Infinious, and I'm seeing that objective set. This could be a good party. We got Fu coming.
Yeah, Fu is great to see. Antlion as a boss could be fine, could be rude. Depends on which location he's in.
Yeah, a lunar bug like that is often troublesome. And of course, the first three objectives, those are consistent throughout the bracket stage. Both of our runners very rudely not showing us who the first character is. Infinious demonstrating his fandom of the Phoenix Wright series, I suppose. I didn't realize they had a
Yeah.
character named Butts in Phoenix Wright. I
Oh,
really thought
yeah.
he was going FF5 for a moment.
No, I saw Butts and was thinking FF5, and then I saw Wright and Gumshoe and Old Bag, and it was like, oh no, this is Phoenix Wright.
But
But
we'll see
yeah.
if we get to start with a gumshoe or an old bag or a right man. Uh,
Well, we can't start with Gumshoe. Gumshoe is gated.
well, there's two gumshoes is the problem.
Oh, there are two Gumshoes. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's mildly confusing.
Yeah. One thing is for certain, we're not going to start with Edgeworth.
Oh, of course not.
Edgeworth is too powerful.
He's just too good. In this particular situation. We do set up so that you're not starting with a Fusoya or an Edge. They're just too strong. Uh, but it's entirely possible we'll get those two after just one check. Just as long as they're gated behind something.
Yeah. This could be, I mean, we've seen some seeds where everything that our runners need shows up super early, and we've seen some seeds where everything is hiding in the Giant of Babil, which doesn't give a cheat key item normally, but through shenanigans, it can.
And this objective set, shenanigans are possible. And starting with the Tella, that's shenanigans all its own. But start we shall, as we are now off.
Yep. We will see who Tella is greeted with. We have Tella and Porum. This is a fantastic start.
Yep, this is definitely a mage-centric beginning, so of course we got the Excalibur.
Yeah, naturally. We can't get. We've got the Excalibur now, so there's not going to be a Cecil in this seed. That's how the rules work. I didn't see
Naturally.
anything interesting in that starter kit other than a Sylph summon, so we know Rydia is not going to be available. And lots of money. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that is a good splash of cash. As we are going through these bracket stages, that initial bit of funding is pretty much what you're going to be working with for the majority of the seed, as the treasure that you find will not give you any money whatsoever. You can still get cash from boss fights and even taking random encounters, but that's it.
Yeah. No money from looting random boxes. You can't sell your items for money. When you go into a shop with a certain amount of money, that's the amount of money you have for that shop.
Yeah, so like that whistle that Infinious found up here in the watery passes, that's his first stop. That's normally like actually decent money to obtain. Not today. No.
We can play the whistle and summon the big chocobo.
Toot toot. No, we're not tooting.
No, yeah, summoning the big chocobo pretty much just loses time. Goodness.
Yeah, so far not anything from this watery pass. It's really sparking joy here.
That
Yeah.
right room in Eblon Castle is sparking joy, though. There was a curse ring and a sorcerer robe in there.
Yeah, that is looking like the play to make right now.
And also a self summon, but we have one of those.
Yeah, we have Sylph at home.
Yeah, And Sylph at home, unlike the meme, is actually good.
Mm-hmm.
We can use Sylph at home. We can't use Sylph from Eblon. It doesn't do anything.
We can probably use that Soma drop as well. If we're going to be taking Tella for the long haul, he actually does have some pretty good utility value. Once we go through Mount Ordeals, gets his full complement of spells, it's not bad. And being able to, pop 10 or apparently 20 more MP on him, as Infinious finds one as well.
Yep.
That's just more use.
I mean, Soma drop and Ordeals will get you Meteo on Tella. But both of our runners have found an axe. I think Oscredwin found a rune axe, and Infinious has found an ogre axe, which are about the same damage-wise, although the rune axe does take advantage of that mage-type enemy weakness. But it does look like Oscredwin's not happy with his loot, is going to loot this back of Watery Pass, which, there's nothing spectacular back here at the very back.
Nah, it's not looking like it.
I mean, we can back Rogue Lich Kane.
That's a thing. As you're saying, like, we find those axes. There's a decent number of characters who can use those, so that is viable equipment in a few character checks.
Yep, Oscredwin's happy with just the back, a bit of Watery Pass, not going to bother with the front half, probably. But, that's... Or is going to bother with the front half. I am not good at predicting what runners do.
Just gonna route it a little differently. Infinious checks the Kaipo bed, finds that Rydia. An early Sand Ruby, you might consider it. But with Rydia's XP curve, a lot of runners have not been bothering to grab a summoner.
I would be very tempted to grab her because we have a Sylph summon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I value Sylph pretty highly.
And if you've taken a look at this team is not very well known for damage. The Weewoos might be the best source of damage we've got.
Or this punch. We have an all mage team, and one of those is a punch mage.
Yeah.
And or not, that is a wyvern.
So yeah, that's going to be a wipe for Infinious. Wyvern opens with that Mega Nuke, and that Mega Nuke will destroy this base level party.
Yeah, depending on where it is, it'll destroy several high level parties.
Yeah, Wyvern on Mount Hobbs is not the most threatening. I think you can tank the Mega Nuke if you've got, like, good character... If you've got, like, a couple thousand HP. Let's say.
Yeah, that seems reasonable enough. Infinious slowed things down a little bit, gonna take another stab at it. Looks like these Star Veils are going off, so we'll be able to get a Karate Man.
Yep, a little unfortunate that Tella is going to be the only one getting experience, as Tella does not really benefit a whole lot from experience, but we'll have time to get Forum and Yang levels later.
I mean, he's old, he's experienced enough.
Yep, that is a nice ninja shirt for an edge that we may or may not see. And now Oscredwin is going to be getting the news about this wyvern, but Infinious has found a longsword on the back of Mount Hobbs, so now we have, I think, Full Moon Long for Edge, if he shows up.
Yeah, along with, I believe we saw a Mute Dagger at one point. It's less powerful, but more utility. Again, anti-mage weaponry.
It does look like Oscredwin has decided to just nope out of Mount Hobbs, though, not going to take the extra Yang. I guess deciding that Tella and Porum are good enough for now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, depending on what we're finding down here in the Antlion Cave that Infinious is currently looting, we may or may not have that high need for physical damage. So this might come back to haunt Oscredwin, or it might not matter.
Yep, that rune ring here in the save room is very nice for Infinious. Antlion is not a place that is commonly looted to the fullest, although it does look like Oscredwin is at least going to open a few boxes in here. But that rune ring, we got a whole bunch of those for free in Swiss, so we didn't really talk about those as much in the Swiss flags, but they're really good. And they're definitely worth picking up on these bracket flags. But it does look like Oscredwin is going to skip it and head straight for the boss.
Which is just a single blue robe, so we know it is the Water Hag. 3 hits and you're done. So not picking up that Yong, not going to be penalized.
Well, not penalized yet. There are plenty of other rude bosses, but at least we'll get through this spot. And if this spot gives us access to another character, or we can get through some of the other overworld spots easily, there could be no penalty at all. One interesting thing I want to point out is it looks like Infinious is leaving Porum down, potentially as an anchor. Because he doesn't have that curse ring, Porum is one of the slower characters naturally, so has decided that Tel is going to be enough of a white mage, and we'll just let Porum take on anchoring duty.
Yeah, I mean, that's a viable strategy and a good kind of long-term thinking to start off right from the beginning and be like, what's my anchor going to be? I got to keep them down as long as possible. And I got to clear out this fight because you're getting a twin harp for it.
Yeah, that we would call that value in Antlion Cave, I would say.
I would describe it as value, yes.
Probably not going to go there right now, as this team is not very strong. And they're going to have a pretty tough time dealing with the boss in Cape Magnus with its maxed out magic defense.
Absolutely. Seeing Dark Knight Cecil in the waterfalls, that's a decent place to find him because you never have to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, Dark Knight Cecil can be free at some places, but he can be very rude in others, and we don't have to worry about him now because he's in a boss spot that doesn't give anything other than access to a few treasure chests.
Ah, Oscredwin found the camping supply store.
Yeah, and camping supplies are very nice, since they're one of the bigger things that is missing from the starter kits in bracket flags. That you used to get like 3 tents in your starter kit, and so you'd be able to camp on the overworld just fine, but now you get nothing. You have to buy your camping gear. But Infinious is headed straight to defend Fabul from some lunar dragons.
That seems like the sort of thing you want to defend your town from, yes.
Yeah, I think if some undead dragons just rolled into town, I'd be very concerned.
Yeah, that's a bit disconcerting. I mean, they're skeletons and they're moving of their own volition. That's freaky.
Yeah. Like, who let these things down here? Aren't they supposed to be on the moon?
I mean, that's where they're from.
Yeah, I mean, we know dragons are mostly... There's a lot of dragons on the moon, so I'd imagine that's where dragons come from.
I have no means by which to argue against this. That would make dragons aliens then, right?
I mean, yes, but some dragons live on the blue planet, so there are some dragons that are, like, native... It's confusing.
Yeah, let's not think too much. Instead, let's watch this lunar frog approach that Infinious appears to be going for. The breath attack does a lot of things, and if you reflect it, this happens.
Yeah, they are gonna keep punching. And that fire attack is gonna be not pleasant.
No, but at this point, the punches are 1 HP a swing, so Tella can start picking everybody back up, and we are fine.
Yep, just one frog. Can't do anything by itself, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Oscredwin did go and buy some Cure 2s. They were for sale in Fabul, and both of these runners have been using the cure damaging approach. You want to use magic on these. You don't want to do the physical attacks.
Yeah, if you hit them with a fight command, they put up a wall on themselves, and then they start casting virus on your team. And virus is not fun.
No, it's bad. It's very bad. But cure spells and cure items, that's not the fight command.
Yeah, no, cure is not the fight command. And because they are undead, they take damage from cure magic. But we did get a crystal something or other. I don't think it was a crystal sword.
Crystal shield.
Ah.
Yeah. So also Paladin Cecil locked, but way less interesting.
I mean, it's a nice shield. It's useful, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's defense.
Yeah.
You might want your Paladin to have a little more defense, but
Maybe.
you really want him to have more offense.
I mean, there is a saying that I think applies to this game, and that offense is often the best defense.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, like those D-looters.
No.
That would actually be kind of troublesome.
No, I think going all out offense there might be a bit problematic. But meanwhile, Infinious is headed up Mount Ordeals while Oscredwin is continuing to loot in Silvera. Oscredwin being very thorough with these shop checks.
Yeah, but still not finding anything really spectacular.
Yeah.
Infinious finding Kainazo as the first Ordeals fight should not be that rough.
There are much worse Kainazos.
Honestly, Kainazo in the back attack spot is worse.
Yeah. A lot of bosses in the back attack spot are worse. This spot is not scary. It has the lowest physical attack in the game, so the punches will not hit very hard. It's got a few thousand HP, I think 3,000, but so Kinaza's waves could be a little scary at the start of the fight, but it shouldn't take down Yang.
Yeah, and we have enough sources of lit to prevent those waves from even happening.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Oscredwin seems to be falling right up on in Infinious' heels, just a little behind because of a lot of that extra looting. But is now getting into his Kinazo fight.
And I don't think I've seen the actual menu, but Yang is punching with what looks like a yellow glove. He might have a Thunderclaw.
I believe he did start with a Thunderclaw.
That is some good thing to start with.
Yeah. Kinazo is weak to thunder while the water is up. While the water is not gathered, he is weak to ice, so no bonus damage on the hits when the water's gone. But, you know, we take any bonus damage.
Mm-hmm. Especially early on, especially with this party, you take what you get.
Yeah. You can't really be that picky.
Now it's time for a lovely evening of hiding inside the shell.
Hey, did you know? He's hiding inside the shell.
I've been told that he's hiding inside the shell.
I wasn't sure if you'd been told that.
Yes, well, he's gone now, so whatever.
I guess he's done hiding inside the shell.
So let's see what our back attack is. It's another Lunar Sparkle, this time. Oh, go Pogo.
Oh no.
So if you thought Kanazo's waves were nothing to write home about, comparatively, you're right.
Yeah, these waves are bad.
Yep. guaranteed 50% of your max health just to open the fight.
Hey, Yang
It,
almost. Oh no.
no, nope, nope, nope. He punched too, is the thing. Ogopogo, he punch.
Yes, Ogopogo punch and Ogopogo punch hard. And yeah, this is a very watery mountain. I don't know. I guess there's a lot of water at the top of the mountain, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's Splash Mountain.
Sure, yeah.
We're gonna ride the log flume down.
I swear, if Leviathan is in the last room, is the last boss up here.
Log flume, log flume,
Log flume, log flume.
log flume.
Oh my goodness. Oh, by the way, Kinazo was hiding in the shell again.
I've been told he's hiding inside the shell.
Yes. He's still hiding inside the shell. Infinious is making his way through this fight using some of those cure 2s that he got, and Yang is punching for 300 damage with a power punch.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough situation for Infinious, and doubly so for Oscredwin.
Yeah, Infinious, the Yang is at least doing something here. Porum, probably not going to fare too well against Ogopogo.
Yeah, Ogopogo does not like it when you cast spells against him, specifically when you cast Lit. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Definitely not a fan. I mean, he's not even weak to Lit. He just extra doesn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rude. If you've ever had a sibling that like goes and does the whole like running their feet along the carpet and then shocking you with a static like that, like that's rude. That's a rude thing to do. I imagine Lit magic is worse.
Yeah, Lit magic is probably worse. Okay, I guess Ogo's feeling is justified then.
I mean, it doesn't have to go and knock half your max HP off at the beginning of the fight. That's rude in its own way.
Yeah, no, Ogo is also rude. Is this game just a whole bunch of our party being rude to bosses and bosses being rude back?
I think you just described the JRPG genre.
I guess that is kind of what it is. Meanwhile, on Oscredwin's side, Kinazo is no longer hiding inside the shell. Kinazo is gone. No more hiding inside the shell.
Let's see his reaction to the news. It's not looking good. It's looking bad.
Tella hanging on with 1 HP.
That's all you need.
Yeah, one hit point. Well, exactly as many hit points as he needed. Oh, but that Tella only has enough for this one more cure too. Tella's about to be out of MP.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, this can gate underground access.
Mm-hmm.
Ogopogo is not an unsafe boss.
Yeah, the only unsafe bosses are Golbez, Wyvern, and Valveless, I believe.
So, Yang is not underground access, but Yang could never be underground access. Yang is just Yang.
He doesn't punch through a mountain.
No. But Infinious is through that Ogopogo thanks to Yang, and it looks like Oscredwin is looking for a random encounter, I think.
Yeah, this might be a little tiny grind.
Unfortunately, these monsters punch hard.
Yeah. It's looking manageable, but Not very kind.
But Infinious will show us what we
Oh,
get.
just a vanilla legend sword.
I mean, it's... I like vanilla.
I, I got no problem with this, but not our underground access.
Yeah, and I think Splash Mountain is closing. There seems to be the walls are closing in. I think our time on Splash Mountain's up.
It's making sure you go ride the log flume.
Yeah.
You can't just stand around being afraid of the dip. No,
No.
log flume,
No,
log
it's
flume.
log flume, log flume. And Porum is down again.
But that is the evil wall taken care of. Not a lot of HP in this spot, so it wasn't really a scary fight, and there was no reason to knock Porum down, but
Yep. No reason to knock Porum down. She'll be revived again right after this fight, but it's okay if she takes a nap. It's fine. She's what, like 5?
yeah.
She needs some nap time.
Yeah, that's valid. We're not going to go into why 5-year-old Palom and Porum are being taught such dramatic magical abilities. We'll not investigate that further.
Yes, we're not going to bother with the fact that a 5-year-old has basically been trained to become a field medic and is going out and saving lives on the battlefield.
Yeah.
This is perfectly normal.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that don't need to be asked or answered.
Yeah.
And then there's the questions that do need to be answered, like where's the log flume?
We didn't get our log flume. I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed in myself for running this log flume joke into the ground.
But we have not found underground access yet, which means it's either going to be here in Baron Inn, where Infinious is going, or it will be over behind that Twin Harp.
Yep, or we have a cheeky D-Mist.
That is true. We could have cheeky D-Mist.
But generally speaking, you're not going to be banking on that. Taking this Bahamut fight makes complete sense.
Yeah, this is Wyvern's slower cousin.
And
Bahamut is here to teach Porum how to count backwards from 5, except Porum fell asleep halfway through the lesson, so...
Well, speaking of a cheeky D-Mist...
I mean, this isn't that cheeky, it's just rude.
It was hiding, but not even inside a shell.
No, very much not inside a shell. Well, Tella doing some work here, though.
Yeah, once Tella gets his full complement of spells, that does include Virus, and Virus is a pretty good spell.
Yeah. Thanks to Tella, we're halfway through this D-Mist already. Meanwhile, Porum has on Oscredwin's screen has decided to take on the Canadian Nope Noodle with a stick.
And the funny thing is, it was doing a good 100 so damage each time, so this might work.
Yeah. We've only got to hit like 20 times.
Yeah, you also have to heal up so that the waves don't do that.
Yeah. You have to also not die.
Oscredwin is going to bail.
Yep. Failing on this amount of deals. This could be bad because we do know that there is a legend sword up here, which is half of one of our objectives. That first one. But no direct progression, so hopefully he'll come back later.
Yeah, the main thing that you're losing out on here is getting Tella online. That's not going to happen until you clear all of this. So Oscredwin is going to be leaning even more on Porum unless he goes back and picks up that Yong on the mountain, or manages to get this Pan and this Cane from the Baron Inn without doing the full mountain.
But good news, music is hard required. Well, almost certainly. I mean, it already was required, but it's between Demist and music. And as much as Demist could have the value, I really want it to be music. Can we have music be value?
Demist can have other value.
Yeah, that's fine. Demist can have value too. I just want music to be underground access.
But Infinious is first going to check the Mist Cave. Again, we are looking for that Antlion.
Yeah,
it's not here, but making
no.
those checks.
No, Edge's parents are there. That's not ideal. We usually like to see Edge's parents in a spot where, you know, they can give you something. But at least we know it's not Antlion.
And that's a Baron key from Demist. So the chain continues, I suppose.
Yep. We can... That's almost vanilla Baron key. I mean, it's just a little delayed.
It's vanilla adjacent. It's like Rocky Road. Like there's vanilla in there.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sure. No, yeah, it's Rocky Road. That's about the amount of proximity it has to vanilla, I would say. But Infinious is going to be able to deck out this Cane with some pretty decent gear.
Yeah, a lot of samurai pieces. Those are relatively late game for heavy armor, so glad to see
Yeah, I believe that's the armor set that Cane joins your party with when you finish the Giant in the vanilla game.
I believe you are right, yes. He has the Gungnir Spear and the samurai gear?
Yep, I think, if my memory is correct, that's what he joins with. I've also only played vanilla, like, once.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played vanilla.
It hasn't been as long, but it's, you know, it's been a couple months. A few months. That's nothing spectacular in that armor shop here. This is a gated shop, so there's supposed to be good stuff here, but no.
There is at the very least a better chance of good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Drain Spears could be nice.
Yeah, our tracker Paladin is pointing out, Sorcerer Robe, pretty good find, especially with this mage heavy party.
Yeah, the crystal armor would be nice if it didn't cost 65,000 gil. You know, I don't think we're gonna have that much money to shell out for crystal armor anytime soon. But that was mostly just a bunch of stuff that's just a little too expensive. And then there were samurai arrows, which, you know, would be useful if we were relying on archery on Infinious' team.
Yeah, and I dare say bracket stage is probably going to be less archery on the whole.
Archery?
It's at least felt that way so far.
Archery can be very good, but you do need to find some specific things to make it good. It takes multiple ingredients. You have to find a good bow and a good arrow to use. And usually you're using it on a white mage who needs to find a heroine robe, and then it's a whole thing.
Yeah. And with this treasure setup and this shop setup, the good stuff is harder to come by.
You're not going to find as much of that really good stuff as you would on the Swiss Flags, where it was T Wildish and you could get all the money in the world that you wanted. But Oscredwin does make it through Baron Inn.
Yeah, made a very good investment in those vampires and just used those for sort of a pocket sylph almost. And sylph is very good, so a pocket sylph is also very good.
Yeah, but their vampires are expensive, so
Mm-hmm.
Digging into that starting set of money, I mean, we did start with quite a big allowance, so it's maybe not the biggest concern. But money is limited.
Yeah, and
Well,
it is all a question of how are you going to use the money.
yeah. I say money is limited. It's not technically limited. You could grind for money on
Yeah,
random encounters.
but are you going to really?
No. No.
No, you are
But you
not.
could.
You could do a lot of things in this video game.
You can do a lot of video games or things in this video game.
You can do a lot of video games in this thing. Yes,
Yes.
that's the idea of a randomizer. We can fit so many video games in this. Just slap the hood of Final Fantasy IV. You fit so much video game in this game.
Yes. Tella doing classic Tella things and whiffing stone on the Baron guards here.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have the boss bit, so stone can hit, but stone is stone, so it can not hit.
Yeah, it looks like Infinious is now opting for weak instead, which is a little more reliable. But it means that Yang gets to be a pig.
Well, hey, pigs still punch.
Yeah,
So
pig.
that is Infinious through the fight.
Yep, and those Barons are on the big Baron throne, so we're through, and there's no character here.
Nope, there's only pig.
Only pig. Yeah, at this point, Oscredwin is a little bit behind, has better loot than Infinious, but is behind by that Ordeals check and by most of this Baron check as well. So we'll see if that better loot can pay off for him.
Yeah, and again, being behind that Ordeals check means that he's behind on all of that Tella spell casting ability as well. But yes, with this being young, that means Oscredwin is going to actually get a character here.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go back to Hobbs.
This is true. Oscredwin will get the Yang back from this check, and so the Yang advantage that Infinious has had will go away. And there's our underground access, so we don't need to go through Cave Magnus to get underground. But you, as a runner, I'm not going through the hook route before I get through Cave Magnus.
Oh, definitely.
Especially with Cave Magnus being an objective, like, I've got to do it anyway. Tella's in the party, so I've got exit.
And you know, if you have a party that can handle the hook route, you have a party that can handle Cave Magnus in almost every case. So just go do your objective, and maybe it gives you the Magma Key. Maybe you don't have to deal with the hook route.
I would say you have a party that can handle Cave Magnus unless you're relying on 5 Palums and a prayer.
That is valid, yes.
But do not do Cave Magnus with a lot of Palums and Rydias and magic damage. It's not going to go well. Also, I completely missed the fact that it was Mylon Z at the first spot in Baron the first time because other things were happening and I got distracted.
Yeah, it is Mylon Part 2, which means Mylon and friends will be somewhere, wherever the other purple robe ends up being.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that I forgot about Mylon Zamboni. He's not a very impressive boss.
Nah. He's always talking about the deep ravine no matter where he is in the world. There's no ravines nearby.
Yeah, no, did you mean like the moat?
Yeah, it's not even that deep.
It's really not. You could walk in it.
Yeah, I mean it's practical as a moat, but it's not terribly deep.
Yeah, no, it's like 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a deep ravine. But it does look like Infinious is diving through Cave Eblon first. This might be a play to try to fill out the party before going to Cave Magnus.
Yeah, that is a valid idea, and it is a Palom.
And that's an antlion. We know where our objective 4 is.
So you are doing this hook route almost assuredly.
Yeah, if you get a magma key from Cave Magnus, how long do you put this off?
It's hard to say. That is the Rubicante spot. Does get a little punchy.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant hook route. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a little better than having it at the King Queen Evelyn spot, which is bizarrely punchy.
Yeah, no, I would not want to deal with Antlion at King Queen.
But it looks like Infinious does not want to deal with any manner of hook route at this stage. Did just go to grab that character and is going to take a full party up to Cave Magnus.
We're getting to, I think, my favorite part of this randomizer. It's my favorite check to do, not in a race situation because it's slow, and if it's not an objective, runners will fade it fairly often, but from a casual standpoint, I love this check.
Yep, this being a randomizer, we randomize things. We don't randomize the notion of magnetic fields. That's perpetual. But we do randomize what music breaks that field.
Yeah, we can't randomize the laws of physics. That sounds bad.
That sounds like a different kind of game.
Yeah, that sounds too chaotic. But yeah, we are heading down Cave Magnus to hear one of, I think, 240 something.
It's in the 200s.
It was 242, but I think there's been a couple more added since then. I'm not exactly sure what the number is.
It's definitely more than 12.
Yes. It is definitely more than 12.
But before we get to hear that, Infinious is going to kind of clean up the inventory, sort things out a little bit, make sure he's going in prepared for the fight. You don't want to take all the cutscene time that's involved, going through it again and again.
Yep. Infinious saying goodbye to a whole lot of kind of useless gear that is in his inventory. No need to hold on to all this random stuff. Putting a save down here really quickly in case this is someone rude like Golbez. And unfortunately...
Yeah, nobody is paralyzed from the field.
Kane is.
Virtually nobody is paralyzed.
Yeah. But I think our HP totals are low enough that Dark Elf should be able to wipe this party out with the tri-elemental attack, except Kane, but Kane's paralyzed, so he doesn't count. But we are going to be quiet here in the booth as Edward is going to give us some of his random tunes. Okay, I think the music has looped, so I'm going to talk now.
Yep, Infinious has taken out the shy guy and the booze, finding Mylon and friends to the tune of Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, it was wonderful music, but we have some talking to do. But yes, Swag Medio will definitely do the job there. Because Medio does not care about magic defense.
Medio does not care about a lot of things. Does care about your magic stats, so that's Sorcerer Robe. Good grab on that front.
Yeah, Infinious is definitely going to be happy to have that. But we'll have to use an Ether here on Tella to get enough MP to cast Exit, because just because Tella has the 10 extra MP doesn't mean he can cast Medio and Exit. That would be ridiculous.
It takes so much out of him.
Yeah. He can cast Medio, but he doesn't have enough to cast an Exit spell afterwards.
But Oscredwin, meanwhile, has gone, picked up the other twin, and is walking out of Cave Eblin, looting along the way.
Yeah, might be hoping to get something good here, but looks like just found the exit item and has decided to leave.
I did see him equipping a black robe on Palom, so that's going to be a little bit of a boost, make that character a little more valuable.
Yeah. +5 to Wisdom because it is fixed now in Free Enterprise. It no longer boosts the wrong stat. It is very nice.
Yeah, but appears to be making the same play that Infinious made, heading over to Cave Magnus. Going to take on the Mylon party.
Yeah. And give us an encore of that wonderful Super Mario RPG music. But in the meantime, Infinious is going to be diving this hook route.
Immediately comes across the Mad Ogres and is going to take this fight. If Infinious, if his Tella stays up and gets the size off, this is kind of free.
Yeah, and I think we have some sort of anti-giant or anti-mage weaponry. Tella has a rune ring, I believe, so Tella is pretty safe. And he lands the size.
Yep, so there you go. Just 1 HP punches from here on out.
And Kane has an Ogre X, so...
That's a lot of 8. That's more than 1. The Mad Ogres are doing 1 damage. Kane is doing substantially more than 1 damage.
Yeah, I would say over 1,000. I would say 1,500 damage is a lot more than 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was just a bad roll. We were really going for 3,200.
Yeah, I just had to warm up.
And it looks like we aren't going to be getting an encore because of technical difficulties, unfortunately, but that's okay. We can talk about... we can all reminisce on this wonderful harp music.
I will mention this Super Mario RPG that does have its own randomizer, and it randomizes the battle music. And because of the Culex fight, sometimes you just get the Final Fantasy IV battle music while playing that randomizer, and it's very endearing.
Yes. Gosh. I need to play Super Mario RPG at some point. I need to play a lot of games at some point.
Yeah, backlogs. What can you do?
We did get an elixir out of the Mad Ogre's chest, and Infinious just found a Poison Claw, which might be an upgrade for Yang.
I believe that is a claw that, is an improvement over Bare Hand. So, yeah, you take those.
90% accuracy, so more accurate than the Elemental Claws, and +3 strength. definitely we take those. And I think with that Poison Claw, Infinious is done looting.
Yeah, it certainly
Did not,
appears to have stopped.
yeah, did not open another box in this, in the rest of Upper Babel, despite knowing that none of them are trapped.
Yep, we do move around the treasure and we do move around the trap chest, but only within their respective areas. So this whole Upper Babel area, one trap chest. We don't know where it's going to be, but there's only going to be one.
It will always be before the pitfall, so you don't have to worry about. You always have access to that experience before fighting these spots. And oh no,
Ooh, we were talking before the show. Baigen, he's rude.
yeah, this is a boss.
This is definitely a boss that is happening, and will happen quite a bit.
This is a boss that exists in this randomizer. So yeah.
And I guess Infinious didn't find the camping gear because this feels like when you would just hop into a tent.
No, it doesn't look like he has the camping gear.
Ooh, so Oscredwin being a lot more thorough has cost some time, but those resources may prove to be very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, camping gear is just so useful. But Infinious is heading back into this with lowered battle speed. Punches are still gonna hurt.
Yeah. Those mages are just knocked down instantly. But Oscredwin is through that Mylon and Friends.
Yeah, Oscredwin is making some time back on Infinious, and does have some extra info in the farm that he did check the Baron Basement boss and found out that Octomammoth was down there.
So that's one that could be a little rude, but not the worst thing all told. So good information to have and not something you're terribly afraid of.
Yeah, probably not going to take that before getting through this hook route, but also probably not going to be as rude once you do take it as this Baigen is going to be.
And in Infinious having already done that Mad Ogre chest, like that is the most immediate and straightforward option for a grind when you're in this situation, and that's already off the table for him. Yep. So if he's like if he's going to concede the point and say I need to get more levels, you're taking random encounters.
Yeah, it looks like Oscredwin is doubling back for Mount Ordeals, which is nice. I mean, we'll get the Legend Sword out of this, which is value, but not what he's hoping for, probably.
Yeah, if he's concerned about avoiding the hook route, then that's definitely unfortunate. But sharp play here, like go visit a Chocobo forest or two. Every one of them has an item, and that white Chocobo will refill the MP.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a white mage, a white Chocobo is basically as good as a pot of healing.
Yeah, it's slower, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. No need to waste your camping gear. And I don't think Oscredwin is going to have any issues with this Mount Ordeals at this point. Has filled out the party with the full 5.
Yep, more sources of healing, more targets for Ogopogo, and just more levels.
Yeah. And access to Twin Magic, which, fun fact, does not trigger a counter from Ogopogo.
I actually did not know that, but it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to have the twins when you fight Ogopogo.
No, you are not supposed to have the twins at that point, so Ogo does not counter the twin cast command. He only counters, I believe, the call commands and the black and white magic commands when used on him.
Mm-hmm.
And twin cast does not count.
And yep, that's Oscredwin getting through that fight very swiftly. But Infinious, meanwhile, does manage to take down the Baigan body, so this will be a finished fight.
Yep. Even if this arm does explode, which looks like it's not, it would only take out one of the three party members at most, and he would still get through the fight, and there's no experience there, so nothing to miss out on. But now that we've dealt with the very punchy Baigan, how do you feel about Antlion with 25,000 hit points?
Unhappy, sad, emotionally devastated.
Those are all words, yes.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be on the moon.
It could be on the moon. It could be at Cave Bahamut. I heard that's not a fun place to fight Antlion.
Not a fun place to fight Antlion, no. But I mean, there is the comfort in, hey, it's not on the moon. It's not at King Queen Evelyn. It's on a required hook route. So this is your way underground. Your opponent has to do it too, and it's an objective.
I mean, at least you get this for free. You know where I'd really not want to see this Antlion? The element spot in the Giant of Babil.
Yeah, that's a lot of HP. That's maximum HP.
Yeah, no, that sounds like not fun. That or the CPU spot, honestly. Those would both be bad.
Yeah. CPU spot, I believe, is one of those where the vanilla fight never does physical attacks, so sure, let's just ramp up the attack stat for no real reason.
Well, duh. It's a late game boss.
Yeah.
It needs a high physical stat, and then it doesn't actually do physical attacks, so there's no reason to lower it back down to, like, a reasonable amount of physical attack.
Infinious, very much wishing this spot had a more reasonable amount of physical attack. I was gonna take a reset and keep moving.
And they balanced this spot's physical attack. Rubikage does physical attacks.
Sometimes.
That's
not
true. They did not
time.
balance this spot's physical attack for punch every turn. They balanced it for punch every 4 turns. They were also balancing for a party that was about 10 levels higher than this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here, and those are the things that our randomizer runners just learn and figure out how to deal with.
Yep. Infinious is slowing down this Antlion, trying to get a few more turns in. And using the power command from Yang and probably the jump command from Kane to try and... Well, parrying with Kane, it looks like. Because Kane's dead.
Yeah, he's tanking the floor. Oscredwin, though, meanwhile, using some of that anti-giant gear, hitting up the Staleman chest as well, trying to get that little bit of extra XP.
Yep, and Oscredwin did loot a second curse ring. So that's another place where Infinious could have found one, but has not.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Oscredwin can basically do whatever he wants with his party setup, and will still be fine on agility for Zeromus.
Yeah, Infinious has had to be much more picky with managing his agility, making sure to keep Porum low level to make sure that she can be an anchor. Porum is one of the slowest party members starting out. I think at 7 agility. The only slower party member at base level is Rydia at 4.
Yep, even Tella when you get him is higher. Not by much.
Yeah, Tella has 8 agility.
Yeah, that's 1 higher.
8 is greater than 7.
I mean, when you're hovering around the breakpoints, 1 agility can be a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 7 agility, you only need, I think, 18 agility to be relative agility 1. If you have 8 agility, you need 21 agility.
Yeah, I do believe that is how the math works.
And there is a very important character that pretty much always has an agility value that falls right into that range.
Would that very important character happen to be an objective on this seed?
Yes, that is the character.
Okay, just making sure.
He always has, Fusuya always has 20 agility, well, unless you equip something that boosts his agility. But by default, he just has 20 agility. And an 8 agility anchor will not get him to RA1, but a 7 agility anchor will. The trouble is it's hard to get a 7 agility anchor without a curse string unless you have Porum or Rydia, or Drain Spear Cane. Drain Spear Cane works too, but who has a Drain Spear?
Yeah, in this day and age,
like, who has time to find a Drain Spear? That seems silly. Dwarfax, Sid, or Kane would also work.
I mean, you don't get to the higher levels of racing and competing in this randomizer without knowing all of these, these ways of manipulating and fine-tuning agility.
There are so many.
Yep.
Because agility is a complicated thing to manage and manipulate in this game.
Yeah, it's complex, but it's necessary.
Sometimes necessary. It's definitely helpful.
Yeah, you can't just go power overwhelming and not care about math, but
that would involve grinding.
Yeah,
and grinding is slow.
It's all this effort.
Grinding is slow. It takes too long. I don't want to do it.
I feel like this antlion fight is the definition of grinding in that case, as it has gone on for a while, but Infinious is holding things together.
Yeah, this is a long grind of a fight, and just like regular grinding, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't have to do it. I get to talk about other people doing it. But Oscredwin has made up a lot of ground during this Antlion fight, has made it to the Baigen fight. But Infinious is through.
Yep, just over the 1 hour mark, Infinious finally gets underground access.
And Quack Kid is online.
Hey, you're going underground with 2 of your 5 objectives already under your belt. So
yeah.
The timing has got to feel bad, but at least that bit has to feel good.
Yeah, we're halfway done with the seed.
Yeah, more or less. We're even halfway to the 2 objectives that have 2 parts to them.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So really we have like 3 objectives, because we have 2 full objectives plus 2 half objectives.
I'm not gonna get picky about the ratios.
Like, why can't we just like combine the hook and the legend sword and just like turn in the legend sword?
Isn't that how you make a scythe?
I suppose so. I mean,
I
I
mean,
was thinking we turn the Legend Sword into the Tail Collector, but
I, it,
I suppose we could forge the hook with the Legend Sword.
yeah, I didn't imagine we would fool the tail collector into thinking a sword is a tail, but I think Coco would appreciate the challenge.
Yes, that does make more sense. The Tail Collector is usually pretty good about recognizing when something is a tail and when something is not a tail. The trouble is, Coco doesn't accept the Legend Sword. He takes the Adamant.
Yeah, and then he yoinks the legend sword from your inventory.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
ask
he does.
about that part.
You can't offer him the Legend Sword. You have to offer him the Adamant, and then he'll yoink the Legend Sword. But we don't have an Adamant to offer him.
Smithing is just too complicated.
Yeah, it really is. But it looks like we're going to pay a visit to the Sylphs that we have in our inventory.
And get a crystal helm for the Cecil that's not in our party.
Yep, I mean, we needed more defensive gear for him. He's going to be so tanky when he finally joins at the end of the Giant of Babil.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so worthwhile.
But Oscredwin is through the Baigan fight, naturally going and saving before taking on this ant lion. Infinious heading straight over to Fabul, see what our two pickups from Sheila are going to be.
Yep, definitely better to be safe than sorry, as we've seen with this antlion fight. It can drag on for quite a while. And will Sheila have the goods?
That's some goods.
I would say that's some goods, yes.
That's 2 bits of goods.
Yeah, yes. Sheila did have the goods. Very confirmed. We appreciate that. That's objective 3 and a chance to find another objective. So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you might be inclined to go to that Earth Crystal check right now. That looks like what Infinious is doing. The Pink Tail could be up here. A Fusoya could be up here. Strong.
Or we could just get a treasury.
Or we could visit a treasury.
Oh, staying in the Troya Inn, which is overpriced.
Oof.
I don't like it. That's like 8 times the price of the Baron Inn.
The Baron accommodations, they're so affordable.
Yeah. Well, most inns are 50 gold, but then the Troya Inn is 400 gold. Because why not?
They're... I guess it's prime real estate. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is Troya a tourist town?
I guess Troya is a tourist town. But Infinious has now found the camping store, so is stocked up on all of his camping goods. I mean, at least it's not the Feymarch Inn.
Yeah, this is true.
The Feymarch Inn costs more than a cabin. I don't know why they decided that would be a good business model when in Vanilla, the shop right next to the inn, in the same building as the inn, sells cabins.
I feel like maybe monsters have a different sense of value than the surface dwellers.
Perhaps. We are not raiding the treasury. Infinious has no time for raiding the treasury. Infinious is going. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I would want to check at least for like a defense sword or something, but I guess Infinious is happy with the Ogre Axe.
I would say this move would make a lot more sense from Oscredwin. I feel like his treasure has been like he's looted more, his gear is better. Infinious could use the treasury more.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that could really benefit Infinious in that treasury, and he's decided to go without them, which is, I mean, sometimes you just have enough and you're ready to go.
I mean, his approach clearly has been, I'm just taking what's on my direct path. I'm just blitzing through the seed as best as I can. He is, we haven't even discussed like the tournament standings that the and he's
Against
through to
an
around a
opponent is
16.
always a
Infinious
challenge
has
in
won
free enterprise,
twice.
especially when we get to this top level where everyone is just so good.
Yeah, so I would not be surprised. I would not blame anyone getting to this position and being like, I gotta play a little risky. I gotta be a little bold and hope that just raw speed will win the day.
Yeah, sometimes you do have to bank on raw speed. I mean, this is a race. We're trying to go fast.
Naturally.
But Infinious is done with leg day. And we'll see who the second boss and the two characters are.
Oh, and he's going straight through. Well, hello, Edge.
Yeah, we like ninjas. Valvalis has decided to move up a rank and take over as Golbez's old position. And Edge is joined by Cecil. So about all that gear we've been finding.
Has Infinious been finding it is the real question.
We had a
guess
crystal shield and a crystal helm from Chex, and we did get an X-Cal in our starting item.
That is true. That is true.
Goodbye, Yang. We didn't have anything great for Edge. I think the best was a longsword full moon.
Yeah, and again, those couple of knives that have some varied utility, but not surprised to see Infinious ditch Edge in that situation.
Yep. Cecil getting X-Cal, crystal shield, crystal helm, karate gi, and samurai gloves. Because we ran out of crystal halfway through the paladin.
Yeah, he could be shinier.
He should be shinier. We need to make Cecil more shiny. He's only 50% shiny.
Yeah, need just take that shiny slider and all the way up.
All of the shiny, please.
But taking on a Paladin, this will not be a terribly difficult fight. This is generally the easiest of the lunar fights to come across. We're not leaning on any kind of elemental spells that would make this fight worse. So
yeah, no elemental spells, no summoning. Those counters are all very rude. We don't have to deal with any of them. Just Cecil taking a nap.
Yeah, he's gonna remain level 1 for a little longer.
Paladin knows. Paladin knows that Cecil is a threat and does not want Cecil to get any levels.
Look, his name, the thing is called Pale Dim, and then we bring a shiny paladin. We're insulting the dragon, is what we're doing.
Yeah, Paladin felt threatened by the shininess.
Yeah, can't blame it at all.
Paladin needs to be the shiniest.
But that is a package coming out of the Zot check. So Earth Crystal has been a little bit of a bust, unless our Fusoya is hiding behind that package cutscene.
There is always the chance of package foo.
Nope.
Nope, indeed, that is a Sid. We don't want Sid. Sid is not package foo.
No.
But Infinious is going back for the Baron basement check. The Octomam down here wouldn't be too terribly rude, except we just ditched our only source of like good Thunder Zerk damage and traded it for a source of Holy Zerk damage.
Yeah, and Octomammoth resists Holy, it turns out.
Yeah, Octomam resists Holy and is weak to Thunder, so we just made an elemental shift directly away from this boss's weakness. And it is fast and punchy, so yeah, Infinious has just decides that that can stay there for now. We're gonna go play somewhere else.
I suppose we're going to go see what's in front of the Valveless fight here in the Dwarf Castle. It's Odin, another boss where having a Thunderclaw is nice and good and helpful.
Yeah. Odin is at least not resistant to Holy, but he's 4 times weak to Lightning, so, you know. Just the same amount better. But this fight is much easier. Just by virtue of the spot being slower, hitting less hard. And we do have a Palom with some lit magic.
Yep, and a Tella with some lit magic. Those are good numbers from that lit magic.
Yeah, I would say the lit magic is doing well. Tella did not hit quad 9s. I'm disappointed in you, Tella.
Oh, but Oscredwin did hit enough damage to take down Antlion.
Yeah, I think Oscredwin will be getting underground just about 13, 14 minutes behind.
Yeah, that is a sizable gap. But we did learn that you can skip Tower of Zot, and if you're okay not having Cecil, you're fine.
Yeah. Also, if you want an anchor, hello.
Yeah, that was Iridia.
Rydia says hello, and Rydia immediately leaves because we have Porum already knocked down.
Yeah, this flag set, especially because of the lack of the slingshotting, unless you start with Iridia, you probably don't care about Rydia.
Yeah. It is very hard to care about Rydia unless she gets all of the experience. And I don't just mean a lot of experience, I mean all of the experience. Speaking of experience, Palom is going to miss out on this experience from the Valvalis, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got Quake, it's fine.
I mean, Quake is good for a very long time. But it does look like Oscredwin is going to dive immediately down the Sylph Cave. We'll talk to the Sylphs and then head over to Sheila, who does have some value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is definitely worth doing this pan check straight away.
For sure.
Ah, that's Vanilla Luca key.
Yeah, Luca actually wearing her normal key around her neck. So, you know, now we can go walk down the sealed cave if we want to.
Do we want to?
That is a good question. I would honestly be tempted to.
Yeah, I mean, I generally dislike sealed cave. It's a very long check. But your other main option here is Keyless Tower.
We could also take Feymarch bosses.
Yeah, and if one of them happens to be free, that's wonderful. But if not, oof.
Yep, looks like Infinious has decided that forging is going to be the way to go before clearing anything else. I'm gonna just knock this objective out and check in on the shop. We have lots of good things. Ribbon, Power Shirt, Murasame.
Yeah, there is one good thing that we don't have, though. Lots of money.
No, we can't afford any of these things. Coco is also selling some fruit. Don't
Yep,
think we're going to be excited about the fruit.
probably not.
I mean, it's very hard to be like, hey, I have this really cool Hanzo steel. I have this amazing best strength boosting shirt in the game. I have this thing that makes you immune to every status element, and I have fruit.
To be fair, the fruit in this game is like silver and gold apples. They could be. I mean, they could be made of actual silver and gold. And how would you eat that? That's a big question that I don't want to
See,
answer.
I feel like that makes it less valuable though, because then it's like
It's just an
disgusting.
ornamental apple.
I don't want to eat this apple. It's
No.
ornamental. It doesn't have any use.
As Scala is pointing out, yes, gold leaf, edible gold leaf is a thing. I'm imagining just a solid gold apple.
Yeah, they're definitely solid gold apples and solid silver apples with that price tag.
I would hope. Otherwise, like that's a lot for a golden delicious. Like, come on.
A single golden delicious apple for
it's nowhere near the best.
40,000?
It's nowhere near the best cultivar. Nowhere near.
Like, I'm sorry, I can get mid-tier weapons for that price.
I mean, do we see any farms in the underworld? We know there's a farmer, but he's the job dwarf. He just keeps changing jobs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any farms. But it does look like Oscredwin is going to head to Dwarf Castle earlier than Infinious. We'll see if he gets drawn in by this Luca key, or if he decides to go turn in the Sheila checks first.
Infinious, meanwhile, is in that sealed cave, so will show us if that is the correct play or not.
Yeah, the good thing about this is he does not need to check the boss, so if this key item check isn't something he likes, he can just immediately reset out.
I mean, you don't really like that, is the thing.
You don't like it, but you can't reset.
Yeah.
Because that is a tower key, and that could lead to more things.
Not only is that a tower key, that's a 10th key item.
That is true. Actually, yeah, no, that is a 10th key item. I can't count. But elements here is definitely not what you hope to find.
No, this can be quite rude. Not a terribly high amount of HP, but still enough to be scary. And yeah, Rubicante in this fight, rough.
Yeah, we need him to not get turns. Well, like that, he needs to not do that.
Yeah, less of that.
Please, less of that. No. We don't like that.
So Infinious deciding that tower key is not worthwhile.
Yep. We don't need that tower key. It's fine. The elements can keep it.
Yep. So back down to 9 key items, but heading down to the Fame Arch where there's a freebie, so
Yeah.
could end up right back up at that mark.
Yeah, if the Fame Arch has a key item, we could be right back up to 10.
Now, I don't think we saw Sirens, though, did we?
I don't believe we have.
Ah, the path's not a key item. Good item,
Nope.
not a key item.
That is Aromas access. But not a key item.
Well, there's Sirens.
This is good. We can grind now. But do you really want to grind at 9 key items?
Nah, you definitely you want to find the number 10.
Grinding at 9 key items always feels so rough because you're like, if I can just get through one more check. Just one more check. Then I can get through this. Then I can grind so much more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
It does look like Oscredwin is skipping over the sealed cave for now and has decided instead of going back to Sheila to check in on the Fey March. And that's a free boss.
Yep, that is the officer fight. That is, you've got a coffin. You can make this fight utterly free.
Yep. The officer immediately takes that coffin and is gone. And now the soldiers will do nothing but hit each other.
Yep, and we saw the other fight was a Lunar Sparkle, and I believe we have seen every Lunar Sparkle except Plague.
I think you're right. So that is another essentially free fight.
Yep, that one is going to take a bit more effort than this. This is no effort.
You have to do damage to Plague.
Yeah. But you may not have to do that fight, as that is a Darkness Crystal.
Oh my. Well, if we had any reason to leave that Tower Key and Sealed Cave alone forever, that's it.
Yep, Infinious is back up to 10 key items, has a way to the moon, has access to another character check, along with all of the grind options and boss fights that are on that moon. And it looks like that is where he is going to head immediately.
I mean, if Fu is on the moon, this is go mode.
Absolutely. Pigtail could very easily be up there as well. Bit more of a hunt, but this could be the absolute next step. And with that pass in hand, you go clear the moon as much as you need to and then come back. You don't mind doing that at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to put it off. You can always you don't have to walk back down again for Zeromus. You'll only have to walk down it once if you clear it all out in one go. And honestly, you might not even need to grind if you can start taking down the moon bosses right away, because the moon at 10 key items is a grind.
Oh, absolutely. 10 key items, of course, for those not familiar with the workings of Free Enterprise, that is where all experience points get doubled. So anyone left alive, they just get that much more XP. Things move that much faster.
Yeah, and it looks like Oscredwin is going to be just a little bit behind Infinious on this Darkness Crystal pickup. So if Oscredwin fades the Tower of Zot, he could be getting right back in this, especially if he and Infinious choose different routes on the moon.
Yeah, it does have to go talk to Sheila again, get that adamant rock. So has that one other check to go bother doing, but that is Vanilla Foo. That's go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is we are ready to just go to the Zeromus. We don't need to do anything else. Just go.
I mean, we could use some levels, I suspect.
We could, or we could just use Foo.
Yeah, we'll see. That is a Palom gone.
Foo is very strong. He can do lots of things.
I mean, he could literally do everything. Has the full white and black magic.
I mean, he can't do everything. He can't jump. Well, not on this flag set.
Every magic thing.
He can do every He can't twin cast. Although, as I stated before, that's not magic, so
yes,
it doesn't count.
Point is, he's good.
Yeah.
And as our tracker paladin is pointing out, you might actually need to do a fight or two. We don't. I did not keep track of how many bosses we've actually fought over the course of this seed. Foo,
like
we try to balance
a few.
Yeah,
quite a few.
We try to balance him out by, he gets 100 max HP and 3 spells for every boss that you fight. I don't know if he's at full power yet.
He very well could be. I mean, we did the entire open overworld plus the Tower of Zot, the Twin Harp, the Baron Key main check, plus Dwarf Castle, and a Fey March fight. That feels like enough. Yeah, Fu has 1900 hit points, so he's got all of his veils.
Yep, that is a full power Fu.
And it looks
also,
like we are going to do some grinding.
yeah,
I mean,
and it looks like Oscredwin is gonna go do Zot.
I mean, there's Accessal up here. It's not totally useless.
Yeah, this honestly, this is not going to be the play that Oscredwin wants. But you're looking for a character. There are two characters up here. Very sensible.
It does make sense, and Oscredwin did also fade the treasury. Probably feels behind from getting underground so late. Does not have time for any of that loot, so we will not be raiding the treasury tonight.
And of course, from up here in the booth, Oscredwin is behind, but not so substantially that this could not close in, depending on our strategies.
Yeah, there's still a chance of, as always, of a annoying Big Bang into Medio combo in Zeromus. That's always a thing, and when it happens, it's real bad.
So far, Infinious is using all those sirens, gonna play it safer. Make sure you got plenty of HP to handle whatever gets thrown your way.
Cecil is not one-shotting these eggs, unfortunately, so Tella's having to finish them off. Come on, Cecil, please. There you go, Cecil.
Yep. 2K. These eggs have 1600, I believe?
1800.
1800.
They're a little beefy. Not that bad, but they've got some hit points.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more than the Mad Ogres have. But I have to imagine Infinious is starting to get to the point where he might be ready to go pretty soon.
Yeah, this is a dangerous little bit of calculus that you have to do when you're in go mode, you have your grind. How much do you grind? Do you use up all your resources and hope to make up the time? Like, it's a difficult spot.
For sure. I mean, these eggs are very fast, so it only takes like 20 seconds to get through each of these fights.
Yeah, but how many races have we seen be decided by 20 seconds?
This is true. But it looks like Infinious is done. And is heading straight for Troya to go head through that pass door, which means I think we have a question to ask, except the airship's in the way, so we're gonna have a little walk through the woods.
The first question is, who parked their airship here? Come on. But the second question is, whose butt? What is the nature of the butt which shall be kicked in this evening?
Yeah. How is the butt? I want to know.
Yeah.
Is the butt cute? There are many questions.
There are so many questions to ask about this Zeroma sprite. There are 500 plus that we could be pulling from. Everything from abstract concepts to JRPG bosses to the abstract concept of the JRPG boss, I guess.
Yes, all of these are options and more.
So as Infinious goes and approaches Zeromus, the only thing I have left to say is log flume, log flume, log flume.
Log flume miss when? Clearly this needs to be a thing.
Oh, it doesn't really.
No. No, it really doesn't. But instead of log flume miss, Porum is going to reveal
I don't recognize that. That's a new one to me.
I have not seen this one, but it is cute.
It is rather adorable.
Yes,
It's doing a little parachute.
this is definitely a cute butt.
And our wonderful art director, Scala Kitty, claiming that this is Nubo, which is apparently a Game Boy puzzle platformer, if my searching is correct.
I've never seen this character before, but I'm already in love with them.
It's so adorable. And I love the deep cuts.
Yeah. You know, it's fine to not immediately know where every Z sprite comes from.
Yeah, honestly, that makes it better.
Yeah.
But as all this is happening, Oscredwin has gotten through Tower of Zop, picked up the package, and is going to immediately check it, and then going to immediately reset out of it, because it's not Fusoya.
Up note did take Edge, so might have a third Zerker going through the Zeromus fight.
Yeah, honestly, with the amount of gear that we've been obtaining, and for the most part, the levels that we've been obtaining, Zerker strats seem to be the right approach. And hopefully they are going to work for Infinious, as he has no way out of that predicament.
Yeah, this is sketchy. This is definitely not a situation that I would like to be in. And yeah, Infinious is resetting.
Oof.
Yeah, Ogre X Kane is not the best in-game Zerker.
So, I mean, that buys us Oscredwin some more time.
Yep, I mean, all Oscredwin has to do is go up to the moon and check this character, and then immediately go turn around and forge the crystal.
Yeah, really has to make sure he doesn't forget to force the crystal. It's
Yeah,
an easy thing to forget.
That. Yes, it's bad. Do not go to Zeromus without the crystal. It will not be a fun time. There will be sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because you can't make Zeromus as cute as Nubo.
Yeah, that's you only get the less cute sprite.
Yeah.
Like, compare and contrast.
I would definitely say that this starting sprite is significantly less cute. But Oscredwin, meanwhile, has picked up his foo, is now in go mode. Ditches Porum, this checks out. Tella's the anchor. Edge, Cecil, and Kane will all be Zerkin. Foo can do white mage things.
Yep. This is exactly the strategy that you expect to take.
Oscredwin will probably have to grind a little bit as well, if he's taking the same strategy that Infinious is taking. But Porum requires a little bit more grinding to make Zeromus ready, so no reason to grind her up. Has not forgot to forge. Gets the news about all the wonderful gear in Coco's shop, can't afford any of it. You hate to see it.
Yeah, but with this bracket flag set, not a surprise.
Indeed. Money is tight, and you can't always afford everything you want.
Yep, Oscredwin is going to crack a couple of eggs as well. Sitting on 11 sirens, that's plenty.
Oh yeah, that's fine. 11 sirens with definitely 10 key items. We've got this. Would have been a little bit better if Tella hadn't gone first, but you know, that's fine.
Yeah. Infinious going and baiting some counter nukes using the crystal, and it hits Fu, so that's a reflect.
Good luck there. Trying to nerf this Big Bang that's coming out to make sure that Kane and Fu can survive.
Yeah, but I think that was successful. Let's see the numbers.
That should have been their good timing.
That's successful, yeah. That's good timing.
Yeah, Kane will need a heal, but also we want Cecil. We do want Cecil back. Because Cecil does a lot more damage than Kane, as it turns out.
Yeah, Cecil's got that gear going.
Yeah, an X-Cal is just a bit stronger than an Ogre X, I would say.
But then Nubo, fully aware of where the power is, drops a nuke directly on him.
Nubo does not want to be hit with X-Cal.
So if we have another unfortunate wipe, that gives Oscredwin a ton of time, as he is already pretty well into his grind.
Yeah, this grind is going really well for Oscredwin. He should be nearing the end of it. Oh, Edge just learned Image, so we've got roughly... Yeah, we still need a few more Sirens to get going, but...
Yeah.
High 30s is not pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, you always expect Edge to be kind of the squishier one. He's not as durable a melee fighter. But yeah, you want him a little higher than 1650.
Yeah. But Cecil is the only one up. But we have rocks on Infinious' side. Can Cecil do this?
Paladin and a dream. And the dream is real. That is a GG for
Yep, Infinious has finished this race. in first place. Oh, we're just giving us the cricket clip. But he has finished in first place with an official time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 20 seconds. GG's to Infinious. And we will see if we can get him in here for an interview. Oh, and it looks like we are joined by Infinious. GG's.
GG's. God, that was a seed.
That was a seed, yeah.
Oh, I feel like I got really lucky in buying exactly what I needed for that entire seed, for the most part. Like buying those exactly 9 Cure 2s, help get through that Ergo, and yeah, I think that just put me. That was the key, I think.
Yeah, because you were doing a lot less looting compared to Oscredwin. He was running around checking a lot of chests. You were a bit more focused on getting through those fights and doing it with the bare minimum resources. In that case, quite literally the bare minimum.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about the antlion, by the way? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, antlion.
Yes.
Antlion.
So I was doing a practice. So it's a funny story actually about that antlion. Last night I was doing I did a practice seed off stream, and I basically had antlion at Rubicante, and it's like, oh, come. So, and I think I face planted about 4 times in the practice seed with a foo, and it's like, okay, this is actually ruder than I think it is. So when I saw that, when I saw that again, no, my initial thought was, okay, well, I know that's rude. Let's go do my objective.
And I'm guessing you were very much hoping that Twin Arp would give you the magma key, and you could hold it off even further.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was hoping that, but knowing that I had to go, both of us would have to have gone through that hook route no matter what. I think that made me feel okay about things. I think I was talking to also that also having completed ordeals for that demist fight. That having talked to Oscredwin after the race, that seems like to be the big sticking point as well.
Yeah, that those Tower spells really helped you through that demist fight a lot faster.
Actually, so I guess the other thing about that seed for me was, do I do 1200 or do I do Fu and Friends, or do I just go for do I just actually just do a grind? And I don't know, I'm not sure which would have been faster. It was close.
I do know
how many times.
It's hard to do Fu and Friends without a lot of MP and HP restoratives. So.
Well, the thing is, I know where Cure 3s are because I bought them at Troya. I know where if I really want to, I could buy elixirs from Evelyn. I know if I'm really desperate, I can use I could get some MP from, but I guess I'd I could have gotten MP from Cecil with the Succubi that was for sale in Baron. So that part was the problem. I just wasn't sure if that was faster than just having 10 key items doing a grind and going from there. That was my decision.
Yeah, 10 key item eggs are very fast.
Yeah, I just wish that Cecil was more able to one-shot them faster.
Yeah, no, Cecil was not doing his job for a very long time. You would think with an Excal he could do work, but no.
Actually, the other annoying thing was that because of how the money actually panned out, I think I ended up being about 5k short of the power shirt that was for sale in Critical Shop.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're kind of close.
Yeah, as soon as I saw, it's like, I can't I can't get that power shirt without doing some money grind of some sort. It's like, no, I don't have time for this. Let's just hope this works.
Yeah, that always feels a little bit bad, but you did make it through this seed a little bit faster, and through a very, very rude hook route.
Oh, actually, I just forgot. I just remembered that Bigen now. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the
Bigen was also not fun.
Oh,
And
I just realized that. I've just remembered that. Oh my god.
yeah, there was
How
a lot of
rude.
rudeness in this seed, but you got through the stuff that was required quickly, and you avoided the rudeness that wasn't required.
Yeah, I'm also just thankful that that's it was actually vanilla foo, because otherwise I was up. That means I had to do a D machine through giants. That would have made me sad.
Yeah, we were basically
Yeah.
out of character checks at that point.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
is true. We were actually out of character checks at that point, other than the giant.
yeah. And at that point, it would have been like I could do a D machine grind 10 key items. I don't need to do that many D machines because let's see, I would have had
Oh, yeah, you don't need to do
Yeah.
that many D machines because you're about to go do the whole giant of Babel at 10 key items.
yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's true, but there's also the point where if the first boss is really rude, and I think at that, oh, actually, and I'm looking at my tracker right now in terms of bosses, and there's only a couple that are really rude. And if
Yeah,
if there's an alt gauntlet there, that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, we didn't see any gauntlet.
No, we did
Yeah,
not.
that's true.
No.
Let's see. We've seen Asura, we've seen Bahamut. Okay, so there are some rude ones available, at least. So I don't know. We've been kind of awkward.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah, our tracker paladin just is asking you to rate the treasury, by the way.
I mean, because of the delay, it's probably gonna be a while. But no, I could just
Oh,
mention
no.
it. What I'll do is I'll post it in. I'll rate it after once the I'll post it in LaliHo spoilers, so for other people's benefit.
Well,
So I can do
it followed in with, like I said, you were very focused on getting to and getting through the fight, so got no time for a treasury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the other thing, was that given at that point I was, because I had to forge at that point, right? So I was one key. I was basically, and I didn't have to pass that point, but yeah, it would have been really rough to justify doing a treasury at an hour in. Basically, that was
Yeah.
I didn't think that was the call.
No, it was a bit late for a treasury at that point because you had cleared. I mean, the hook route just took so long.
Oh man, sorry, I just found a Zeus gauntlet.
Yeah, that's the benefits.
Oh,
of the
what, as a defense sword as well?
Yeah, see, this is why you rate the treasury, folks, because sometimes
And two ninjas and a mirror. Ah, oh, come on.
Sometimes you get all of the really good stuff in the treasury. Rate the treasury on T Pro. It's good.
Oh well.
But I can't fault the decision.
Yeah.
I mean, with how long that hook route took for you, getting underground at over an hour never feels good.
No, it didn't. So but again, so I'm gonna hop off because I believe Oscar has just finished up on restream. So thank you to both Xenocat and Hupfin for doing comms. Thank you Aegis for doing tracking. I'm not sure if I should thank Cubs for that seed. I'm debating it. But yeah, I believe our space should be in about 12 hours time by the looks of our discussion. So looking forward to that.
All right, well, looking forward to another exciting race between you two. Hopefully a little less rude on the front end, but we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, GG's Infinious.
GG's again, Infinious, and GG's to Oscredwin, who I believe is now in the booth with us. But I believe you're muted.
Hi.
Hello. GG's on getting through that rude seed.
Oh my god.
That seems to be the broad sentiment. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the overworld, I spent, it seemed like a million years on Mount Ordeals. Took 2 or 3 attempts to beat the Baron Inn and then Baigen, and it was just pain after pain after pain.
Yeah. There are a lot of bits where it's like if you try to think of what's the worst thing I could find on Mount Ordeals, you'd probably go down a list, but then you see Ogopogo, you're like, oh right, yeah, Ogopogo. Uh, Same thing with Baigan at King Queen Evelyn, same thing with Antlion. It's just not the worst possible thing, but still really rough.
Well, my style of play lately has been spend a little bit more time looting, uh, and find some way to just hit whatever boss spots I'm working at really hard. Like if I had Quake on Palom, Baigan would have gone down a lot faster
Mhm.
and a lot easier.
You-
Instead, I'm throwing bluffed viruses at him, uh,
Yeah, the seed
which
did
never
not
quite feels good.
give very much good loot early on. We saw, I mean, the curse string was nice for you. Infinious never picked up a curse string, so you had that going for you.
Hmm.
But there really wasn't a lot of great loot early on. I mean, the best things we saw were some of those axes for Kane, um, like a poison claw for Yang.
I didn't get that one.
That was in
Uh,
Opera Babel, I want to say.
Yeah, I think the lone chest. I think it's the
Yeah.
vanilla trap chest location.
Oh yeah, I only did 2 chests in Upper Babel, I think. The trap chest, which was the first one, and the one that's closest to the walking route, which was, I believe, Charm Arrows.
But yeah, there was a lot of nothing in the chest this seed. This did not play to your playstyle well,
No, like
unfortunately.
I was trying to beat Ogopogo with Porum with a karate shirt and power staff, which was
Yeah, that's real rough.
like that would have been 20-25 hits to clear
Yeah.
him, and Tella wasn't keeping them alive that long.
No. Yeah, the real divergence I think started when you got to Mount Hobbs and decided to leave the young behind, which understandable. It's Wyvern. Wyvern is rude.
Hmm.
I mean, you don't want to deal with Wyvern, and you did get a young not too long after in Baron Castle, but Infinious got through that Wyvern, and that young really helped out his damage through a lot of the overworld.
I never expect like under level 30 young to just contribute very much.
Yeah, and this he doesn't usually, but compared to Porum and Tella, he does work.
I guess.
It's not great. He doesn't. He hits like for double what your Porum or double or triple what your Porum was hitting for with a power
Yeah.
punch. You know, not with a regular fight command. It's not much.
Yeah, I think. And the Demist was like, I took 2 tries to kill the Demist, which was like sort of the key to unlocking the overworld.
Yeah.
Because the Demist had the spot had, because that gave you the cane and the pan, and I think the hook was behind that.
Yep.
And
it had the Baron key, which led to the hook. So it just led to everything else basically on the overworld except that Twin Harp that you started with.
yeah, Twin Harp was an Antlion. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harp that was you both found that early on.
We started with the Excalibur, which took forever to find a Cecil.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were surprised we found a Cecil.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, but that's what you got to do. You take your Excal, you look for Cecils, you look for Edge, you look for Fu, because the seed promised to Fu.
The seed did promise a Fu, and it did deliver eventually.
Yeah, I was
the last character other than Giant.
I had my finger on the reset button to reset back to my save on Earth to go straight to the Giant when that wasn't a Fu on the moon.
Yeah, no, that is definitely that kind of seed.
Yeah, and I just really wasn't happy with my overworld play. I figured that was that ended up being the main thing that cost me the race, given the time frame.
Yeah, I would say you were a bit behind getting through that overworld, mostly because of that Mount Ordeals, and then you kept pace. I mean, you kept that pace up basically for the rest of the seed, and it wasn't. You didn't lose any more time,
Yeah, I was
But-
happy with
Yeah.
everything once I cleared the.
Even in the hook route, you didn't
Mhm.
lose time.
Oh, he had that much trouble with the Baigan.
Baigan and Antlion were both very rude. And
Yeah,
very slow.
Antlion just had too many hit points.
Yeah, and that Antlion has a lot of hit points and hits kind of hard. And
I mean, the hits weren't
Infinious
bad. I
was
had two
not
blink
anchored as well as
casters.
you were, because
Ah,
he was using a base level Porum as an anchor.
mhm.
So yeah, I think maybe Kane and Yang were properly anchored, and Palom and Tello were kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, I think an elixir would have gotten me through that on the first try. I wouldn't have swapped into Berserk strats.
But yeah, you did have some heads up plays on the overworld. I mean, the vampires helped a lot.
Oh yeah, vampires are my power of last resort.
And they worked.
They
Yeah.
just shred everything on the overworld, and that demist spot is probably like the rudest or second rudest ungated boss spot.
Yeah, for sure. That is.
And
Other
demist
than
pretty nasty to find there.
yeah, other than maybe back attack of Mount Ordeals, that is
With the nope rope, yes.
yeah. That is
Mhm.
the demist is probably one of the ruder things that this in the early game at least.
Yeah.
Discounting the hook route because
Yeah, and I screwed up going into the demist fight because I had my characters my mages in the front row.
oh yeah,
Um,
no, that's never fun.
But if I had him, and then I just put him in the back row, and then I was able to survive the first round, get my blinks up, and then just vampire Rydia's mom to death.
Well, this was the seed of pretty much going into things, finding out that they weren't doable, and then adjusting. And you made those adjustments well. Just unfortunately lost time along the way.
Probably the least rude thing in the seed was the Asura spot.
Yeah, no, that was very
Oh
nice.
yeah, that was yeah.
We like that. And
That-
the levy spot wasn't bad because that was plague if it had been necessary at all.
Yeah, I didn't even care about that. I got Darkness Crystal, I got
No.
double life glitch on Officer, I was out.
You shouldn't have. I mean, we know it's nothing. It was nothing.
Mhm.
You knew at the time it was basically nothing. Because at that point you're looking for a character and you have all the character spots.
It could have a pink tail at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That ended up being on the moon.
Well, no one's going there.
No, no one is going to go do the ribbon room. That sounds like not fun.
Okay, so we got our game,
Yeah,
our final match, I guess.
You're not out of this tournament yet. You have
Yeah.
one final match against Infinious.
Mhm.
How are you feeling going into this final match?
Good. I think this was probably like one of the hardest types of seeds for me and my playstyle. So anything else has to, like, regression to the mean's gonna be my friend going into the next match.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
hopefully I can pull one out.
yeah, the time difference is definitely not insurmountable.
Mhm. Yeah, just give me a
Yeah.
cane or something. Give me a
I
cane
mean,
and an ogre axe, and I'll just plow through so much.
any good character that can do damage early on. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Hopin, any final questions for Oscredwin before?
No, nothing else from me. I'll just say another GG and good work on getting through that bloody overworld.
Yeah. Seriously.
And hopefully your next seed is a little less rude on that front.
It's hard not to be.
Yeah, if it's not, then something has gone wrong.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for doing the comms. Thanks for the restream. And see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, look forward to it.
GG's again, and good luck tomorrow.
Yep. Okay, thank you so much.
And that was our second place finisher, Oscredwin, who finished with, as you can see on the screen, an official time of 1:49.50, just 7.5 minutes behind Infinious. Their rematch will be tomorrow at 11 a.m., almost exactly 12 hours from now. So be sure to tune in for that. I want to give a shout out again to Cubs Roll for rolling this seed and doing the restreaming. Our tracker Aegis, Shout outs to Hupfin for being an amazing co-commentator.
Log flume. Log. I'm gonna run that joke into the ground.
Yes, please do.
We are also. I'm also gonna thank Xenocat very much for putting up with me running a joke into the ground, and we are going to send y'all over to the PK and Penguinator match that is going on over on Randomania 1. So, also a big thanks to the Randomania Network that has been letting us use their space as we do this whole tournament. So, big thanks to
Yes.
them.
No spoils, and we will bonk you. And can we take the log flume there?
We can take the log flume.
Log flume, log
Log
flume,
flume,
log flume, log flume.
Good evening. Good night, everybody.
Good night.